Hey everyone, it's time for another World Cup of Design playthrough, and today we're playing Neenach Centennial by Alan Eastwood. And you can see I've watching the players over the weekend inspired me to make a little change to my golfer. Um, okay, so a little rundown on Alan's course here. Preferred tees for judging are white. Desired prevailing wind, basically anything but very high, so we'll just go with default. Um, Greens at default speed are set up to be on the more difficult side of things. That's 174. Pin 4 is probably overall slightly the more difficult pin set. Hope you enjoy playing the course. Well, I hope I do too. Hey there, Heisenberg. Okay, so I'll say the usual stuff I say at the beginning of these things. So I haven't seen these courses yet when I play them on stream, and yeah, I'm playing with the 281 driver, scout cam off, follow cam off, and I hope you aren't blinded by that opening cutscene. Um, and yeah, I'll play when I judge. I'll play with like a longer driver, so it's not like I'm if it's not like ideally playable for a 281 driver. Don't worry, I'm not gonna just completely knock you for that. All right, pretty straightforward opening tee shot. You do have to hit a good one to fit it in between the bunkers, but just kind of a straight ahead uphill mid-length par 4. Just kind of driver wedge if you get away okay off the tee. Hey Matt. Okay, let's see what we got here on the green. So kind of a elevated green with a false front. More or less goes sort of back to front and left to right. There's sort of like a bowl there in the front right. And it looks like we're in the step theme. I think he mentioned something. He might have mentioned something about a planned community or something. So lots of houses. Okay, number 2 is a short par 3. Again, a little uphill. About 124 to carry it. I think we'll get on if we hit a full pitching wedge here. And we got a fast 2, so that'll help. Okay. So the green is we got like a runoff on the left side there. Clearly that back left pin is probably pretty tricky. You got a shelf in the back right. The bunkers look maybe a tad over sculpted, like maybe a little bit bathtubby, but not Not too bad. Okay, so now we got a downhill par 5. Yeah, obviously that shortcut's not really an option. It looks like you might be able to consider going the other direction there, but I don't know if that really affords you any advantage. Although the landing area definitely does kind of does pinch down quite a bit. How long is this thing on the scorecard? 623. Well, let's see how far a driver takes us. I don't think I'm going to run out of room if I play this way. It's mixed reality. All right, so that didn't work out so well, but it's a three shot hole anyway. I think we probably got to chop it up into this little narrow part. Well, and I ran out of room. Great. All right, I don't know if this is going to get up there. But I don't really want to hit a hybrid. No, I think that's bunkered. All right. So the green's kind of on this little narrow sliver. Fall off left, fall off right, although the green does slope right to left. Left definitely looks like the place to miss it. We'll use the little feeder slope. And there we go. That'll get us a birdie. Or no, it's a par. Because we've been chopping it up. Hey there, Seb. Okay, so we got another hole where it's kind of like narrowing down with like, bunker left, bunker right. Oh man. Well, that sucks. I'm not exactly sure how contoured that fairway is, but it felt like I hit it okay, and it's pretty narrow. One of those things, if I played with the scout cam, I probably would have picked up and compensated for. I wonder if this is going to be one of those ones where I have to talk about landscaping houses. I don't know. I mean, it is a desert community, so maybe they can't do any landscaping, but houses look a little barren. Maybe it's all single guys in their 20s that live in this neighborhood. I don't know. Obviously, that's not the most important thing. Okay, so now we got like a centerline hazard. If I didn't look at at first, it kind of looked pretty similar to some of the other tee shots, but we do have that big fairway out to the left. Um, Pretty large green. Okay, I think I gotta pretty much go straight at it because this is uphill. And I got a fast. All right, 252 uphill. I think we got to give this 3 with everything we got. That turned out pretty well. I think you could maybe make that fairway just flare out a little bit further to the right just to give, since it's such a long hole, give us a little more room to use the slopes to feed balls in here. Right, and it's especially helpful for people who have short drivers, whereas the big hitters won't really need it. So, I had to do it. I hadn't re-outfitted my golfer in a long time anyway. So, all right. So I think I'll make this observation now. It seems like we've had bunker left, bunker right on almost every hole up to this point. So some of these tee shots, I mean, the elevation changes are different. So I wouldn't go so far as to say they're starting to run together, but there is a bit of a sameness to them. Okay, like if you look at this green is obviously meant to be approached from the left. So, maybe rethink the fairway um, so that that you're taking on more risk if you play it over to the left here. Instead, it's basically you just fit your drive in between the two bunkers, then everyone has a shot over this bunker here to the pin. I think the only time I've really thought much off the tee is, well, there was the center line bunker on that dogleg right, and then the only other time I really did much thinking was when it was, do I take a shortcut down another fairway? But it's early. We still can. There's still plenty of holes left. Okay, so the green again is kind of back to front and pretty hard right to left with a fall off to the left side. So yeah, like I think this concept is good. So I would maybe rethink the design of the hole to so that it kind of works with this to kind of give someone the opportunity to take on some risk and get rewarded with a better angle. Although with that said, I had a 9 iron in, so angles aren't super vital, I guess. Okay, so sort of a mid-length par 3, slightly up the hill. Yeah, this might take us a little deep, but the green's wider back there, so it makes sense to take a little more club, I think. Oh, there's a little feeder slope there too. Almost has a bit of an Eden template feel to it with the back to front slope, but it also has that little right to left action in it too. Oh man, look at how he stands out there from a distance. And it takes the slope. And the replay angles on these really suck. Oh, I knew I didn't give that enough. All right, so now we got a dogleg left. So we've after as soon as I mentioned it, we've done it. We've got a hole where it's just bunkered on one side, doglegs around this sort of nest of bunkers. So that's a nice change of pace. I'm probably gonna run out of room though. Yeah, so it looks like you definitely gotta kind of shape it. I mean, I technically hit the fairway, but there's some serious reverse camber there, so you definitely gotta. It looks like you definitely want to be hitting a draw there. All right, so we got a false front, kind of another one of these elevated greens with some runoffs. He's not hurting anybody. El Panda, is that sleep? Is that the sleepy panda? Yes, this is a pretty serious fall off to the right there. Given that I'm hitting a wedge into the green, I feel like, well, yeah, I guess the fairway's probably a little flatter if you hug the inside of the dog leg. I could try and do that. There we go. Did that work? Did I give you a sword? Just use it responsibly. Don't do any of this like random, time out people because they look at you funny. Otherwise, you're losing your sword. There, we got a couple. We had a couple. We should have a couple mods now. Okay, so now we kind of got a slight little dogleg right, short par 4, green's pretty well defended. I think we probably got to hit a driver if we want to go for it. Seems like that's the play because we want to get over all the trouble. Hey, and we hit it inside 6 feet. I think that deserves a replay. So we got kind of another perched up green site here. Big time back to front slope. Oh yeah, we hit the front of the green and it popped it right up. Ooh, that was almost an albatross. All right. So we're on to the back nine. Okay, so this fairway's a little roomier. We got a short par 4. .376. Hey, Sleepy. Looking forward to your World Cup course. Okay. So I think we're just going to play a 3-wood. Well, we can't really carry the corner there, can we? I think we could just play it inside. We could play it just inside the bunker. Or we could just kind of play out to the right. I think we might just play out to the right. It'll give us a slightly longer shot in, but it's a short par 4, so who cares? Okay, so we had a bit of an awkward stance to deal with. So that's kind of what I get for playing safe. I love gold. Okay, so you got the serious crownage going on in the middle of the green. I think, that makes it so, if you're approaching from further away from an uneven lie, that makes it a lot harder to get it close. That was good effort. All right, now we got a little pinch down fairway here. So elevated tee shot, and then it's back uphill again for the second shot. Oh no. So it looks like we'll be laying this up. And we got a pretty uneven stance here. All right, I think this will work. Okay, so let's take a spin around the green. So another green with a fall off to one side. Yeah, so this one, kind of if you do miss the fairway or you don't hit a good drive and you're not getting home in two, it is kind of just bash it up the narrow fairway there. I didn't really have any thinking to do. Okay, looks like we got another green with a false edge there. Really long one. Oh, it's not going to get there. So it does feel like it's a green we were starting to see several times where you've got like kind of like a red down slope on one side of the green and then like a few like little half tiers and then a chipping area on the other side. I think in isolation these greens are decent, but it does feel like you're starting to repeat yourself a little bit. Okay, so we get the property line here. Kind of prevents you from bailing out. And I guess the right side is the gives you the better line, but it's a 500-yard par 4, so can't really. You don't want to give up too much yardage. I don't think I can carry those bunkers with my driver. Yeah, any courses with overcast lighting automatically don't make it to knockouts. Okay, so we had a pretty good shot there. Yeah, so I guess based on the contours of the green, it doesn't really look like you get any advantage for playing close to the out of bounds. It's just like, I guess it's just to bump up the price of those houses then. I mean, I guess, savvy developer. All right, now we got a wide open fairway. The green is pretty narrow. Wants you to go left, but it is a reasonably short hole, so I think we'll be okay if we just play it safe here. Alright, this might not be enough to get there. It looks like we got a false front we're dealing with, so that's going to need 156 a carry. Yeah, that's not going to work with an 8 iron, so I think we'll just loft a 7 and accept that we're going to have to miss a little long here. Yeah, and I mean, the way the green's sloped, you're really not. I guess maybe when the pin is hugging the right side, it doesn't look like you're really. There's that much of an issue if you play to the right. Alright, so we got sort of like a back right pin here. Ah, stupid stream. of got these like cascading tiers down the green. Well, I didn't miss it in a very good spot. Okay, so sort of like a mild runoff in the back right there. You do have a backstop there to help funnel it in. All right, this I don't know this bunkering pattern here feels maybe a little gimmicky, and yeah, obviously I'm not taking any part in that. Um, I think I got enough room to hit a driver here, so if you had made that a bit more of a diagonal hazard on the left side, then I could have thought about making a play for it, but instead I just kind of had to play out to the right, and I mean it looks like that slope really feeds into the bunker, so I don't know. That feels. I'm not saying you have to design for my driver, but if I think if you only design for the 298 driver and you don't really think about how some other people's drives are going to roll out, then it's not a course that's going to be enjoyed by the masses. Well, at least I got a good angle from down here. I think the concept for the hole is okay. I just feel like, yeah, I would just rework your landing area there. Like otherwise, it kind of feels like a Corin Crenshaw type concept. Yeah, so obviously you need to come at this green from the left. How long was this hole again? Yeah, okay, it's pretty short, so if you play down the left, you can definitely get the angle in here. Yeah, we're kind of in that mid-publish window lull. Hopefully it's just the mid-publish window lull. If it's just the whole thing, that would be bad, but okay, so we got a sharp dogleg right. So if we want to hit a driver, we got to fit it into a pretty tight spot here. But it's uphill, so I don't think we really want to be laying up here. Alright, so we got a pretty sharp false front there. But we got a wedge, so as long as the pin's not in the front, it's not much of a concern. Alright, so we got kind of a back left here, and then you got this little channel here. Alright, here we are on 18. So this feels a little bit like, well, not really, I guess, because I mean, it looks like there's a chipping area to the right there. It'll fall off. I I mean, it's a long par 4. I guess the idea is that if you play out here, you don't have to deal with those bunkers, but you're still gonna have to carry the swale, and it lengthens the hole, so and it's narrower, so like for me, it's just it's left all day here. Alright, 195 off an uphill lie. I think this club should work. We got a nice little kick. Yeah, green is a little on the narrow side for such a long par 4, but par doesn't matter and all that. I've kind of mentioned this before, but this is kind of a green concept we've seen a few times already. All right, we close with a birdie. Okay, so there you have it. Alan is a very competent designer, and I think this course kind of reflected that. Felt like the sculpting could have used a little polishing in places. I mentioned the bunkers being a little over sculpted and bathtub-like. Some of the areas around the greens and the fairways felt, I don't know, those feel like things that, like, if after play testing it, I would feel the need to smooth it out in places. Yeah, and I think the course plays fine. I think for me, I wasn't the biggest fan of the environment. I think if I had to sum up the environment in one word, it would be houses, which doesn't really give me a sense of place, I guess. I mean, don't get me wrong, you can use houses or create neighborhoods to kind of give a sense of place. I mean, I think, like, love them or hate them, but I think Arctic Fury's use of buildings really do tend to give his courses a sense of place. And but here it just felt like there were houses for the sake of houses. It didn't feel like anything unique about it, I guess. And if anything, I felt like it kind of distracted from kind of the scrub land and the desert and that kind of thing, which I think could have really added something. but instead my eye just got drawn to the houses everywhere. So I don't know. For me that was maybe a bit of a miss, but you know that's just my first impression. I'll you know, but yeah, I thought it played pretty well. The holes had decent variety in terms of yardages. I thought some of the par fives had pretty fun second shots. So yeah. Um, so that was Neenach Centennial. I guess there's another 9 holes in there, so I'm curious how that looks. But yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. Well done, Alan. Appreciate the publish, and I'll see you guys for the next one.